I'm taking the pipes that are going to be anchored into the ground. We've already measured center to center, center to the next pipe. We found our measurement. We're putting the pipe on our black foundation, holding it steady, press and turn, makes a perfect hole. Then all we're doing is Patty's coming behind us, and she's going to widen it a little bit for our drill, and we're drilling away.
So we have a 20-foot long greenhouse, and so you measured from the top end over here to this end. Let me move the camera to right here to this pole. Okay, so that's 20 feet, and then
we have 24 inches on both sides extra for
walking paths, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you have a 16-foot greenhouse, a 20-foot greenhouse, or a 24-foot greenhouse, or 28. Do you see the increments of 4? So every pole, after you get your top and your back one set, are going to be exactly 4 inches or 4 feet on center. So we're going to have a total of how many poles on this one side?
6.
6 poles on this side.
Yep.
Okay. And so that is what we're doing. And we're going to finish drilling those holes out. Now, the directions say to pound those 24 inches into the ground.
Yes, the
but we're
directions
doing it a little bit different.
The directions say to put this whole thing just about into the ground, up to about there. So that much sticking out of the ground. So we're going in 10 inches, and we're putting cement down here and cement in the hole that we dug. So they're going to be all cemented in. But if you think about what we've done, we've just added another 10 inches of height to our greenhouse by doing this.
So how long is that pole right there?
This is, I think it's 32. Let's see. It's 30.
Those are 30. Okay, so if you were just going to pound yours into the ground at 24 inches, you'd have 6 inches sticking up.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was saying. It would look like that coming out of the ground. But now, coming out of the ground, it's going to look like this, and we just gained 10, 12 inches of height in our greenhouse.
Okay, so yesterday when we were picking up the greenhouses from Grower Solution, you were talking to Josh about how much extra film they give us. So they measure out how many extra feet of film going
this
over
way.
the top. Yeah.
So we're probably looking at about maybe 8 feet extra, 8 feet minimum. So now that we just added 10 inches plus here, and plus up here on our when we start doing our purling, we're going to go up a little bit more there. We're probably going to go, we'll probably be 20 inches minimum higher than normal height.
So we might get an extra 2 feet in height out of this, and there's plenty of plastic to go with it.
Plenty of plastic because we go this way, not this way.
We could probably burn this just to have all the ends burnt and not frayed, but we don't have that choice today, so we just have to cut our hole big enough so that Keith can get his handy dandy drill in.
Auger.
Auger.
All right, so this is a 10-inch by 4-inch auger, and the poles you can see are smaller, so it's going to work out just fine. I'm going to drill the hole, put this in the hole, put cement down in the pipe and all around the pipe in the hole, so they'll be cemented inside and all around it. By the way, this is a quarter horsepower, 3/8 horsepower drill. A little bit more heavier duty than your standard drill. If you're going to use something this heavy, but you don't need to, you can use a regular quarter or smaller drill. If this bit catches a nice solid rock, it'll yank the drill out of your hand because this drill is so torquey. It's for heavy duty, so be careful and be cautious. Drill slow, and if you feel a rock, just kind of chip at it until you can dig it out. It's important to get all these the same depth. So we're going to measure from here 10 inches. We're going to get a a Sharpie, make our mark. So every pole we're going to put in the ground, we're going to plus or minus until we hit that exact mark. And when we hit it, then we'll put the cement in. But we have to make sure they're all 10 inches. And the cement, once it's in, it'll hold them all.
Picking up those holes, I'm going to start measuring 10 inches. It doesn't matter from the top or the bottom, just we know it's going to go in 10 inches. So while Keith is finishing up that greenhouse, drilling all the holes, I'm just going to start marking all of these pipes that are going to go into the ground 10 inches. That way I'm just kind of ahead of the game.
Oh, okay. Go into the... Okay, so now I'm putting the cement down in the hole. I'm getting all the air out, packing it with the stick because it's in a hole, it's kind of tight. Can't get a shovel down there. So, got my mark on there. What I'm doing is I got a string from here to there. Up 2 poles and a string. The string is my line, that's my guideline. Okay, the string goes off the first pipe we already did, and it's measuring off the back end. So, the string, you kind of have to eyeball leveling it with your foundation, and you can lay it down. You can put a measuring tape on both ends, but you got to get your string straight because that's your lead line. So I got my lead line down, it's all ready to go. Got my first pole in there, cement's in the hole. I'm going to put this in the hole. I got my tape measure here. It's on center, so it's centered from this pole in the center of the pole to 4 feet, 48 inches. So I'm going to find 48 inches on my tape, which is right here. Get my pole right in the center of there, and then I've only got to tap down about a 1/2 inch. Okay, there we go, right there. Check my center. I'm center. I'm touching the string. You want to touch the string. You want to just touch the string. So I'm touching the string. As I'm cementing and putting them in here, Cody comes behind me and he's got the leveler. And he either taps them down further or brings them back up to hit that line perfectly, so they're all the same. So once he does that, he'll put the level on 2 sides and he'll get the pole straight. So we work down as a tandem team going all the way down the line. So when I get down to the end down there, I'm going to look at my string and look at my poles, and my poles are all going to be just like that, right touching the line, perfectly straight on the line. If you got a pole that's like this, well, you're going to have to pull it out, reset it, and make sure it's touching the string, because that's going to affect your arch, okay, the tension on your arch. Everything has to be the same on both sides of the greenhouses. They all got to be nice and straight, all your poles. And after we do that, we're going to sit for about 24 hours. We've already got our arches assembled. Patty can show you pictures of that while I'm finishing these off. And in 24 hours, we're going to come back. We're going to put our arches in. We're going to self-tap screw them in. And from there, we're going. Sure it's in? Mm-hmm. The line's under the cement, right?
Look at him slide that level.
Got some weather coming in the next couple days. We should be okay. I mean, the cement will be dry. Get our arches in, put our praline. purlin down the middle, get it all bolted in, and we're going. So it would be nice to have both greenhouses done in 7 days. That's our goal. We're going to try. Now, you know, our other one took us, you know, a month and a half, but we, you know, we were working full-time jobs and this and that. We had 2 hours a day to work. So now, you know, now we're old farts and retired, so we can get done a lot faster. So, all right, Pip up, time to go.
So let's talk about the arches. Keith already has them all assembled. And for the Quonset, you're going to have 3 poles. We're 16 feet wide, so we have 3 poles that had to be joined together. And you need to make sure that when you put in your tap screw, that it's not going to be on the top where your film is going to go. You want it underneath. So he's made sure that all of these are underneath. They're not going to be on the top. On this greenhouse, it's kind of at a little bit of a slope, and Keith measured it out yesterday, and it drops about 5 inches from this end to that end. So what he did was he raised those poles up, I think 3 inches, and these poles went down 2 inches to compensate for the 5 inches. That way we'll have, the greenhouse will look level, even though when you walk inside of it, it's just at a little tiny slope, which isn't a big deal.